Welcome, Cleveland County, to a beautiful sunny day after all this rain. My name is Deborah Blanton. I'm host of the Cleveland County Kitchen Show. And we are here this morning on location with Jack and Mary Sue Boyles, who are apple farmers. That's our product this month for October, are apples. So, Jack and Mary Sue, if you'll just tell us about the apples. They're beautiful. We still have lots hanging on the trees. What kind of varieties do you grow?
Well, we grow several different varieties. The only one that's left is pink ladies.
So Cleveland County really must be good for apples. You know, we usually think of apples in the mountains, but you know, there's several apple farmers in the county and surrounding counties, and we just must have the right temperate zone to produce apples.
I think we have it as good. We're a little bit more prone to spring freeze than they are in the mountains because of the high country. I guess we come out a little sooner.
Okay. So when did you all get started growing apples?
66, I think we started. Wasn't that about right? I don't know exactly the year. Somewhere between 65 and 67.
So we're talking
68.
over 40 years, so
right.
You know what you're doing. Are some of these trees that old?
No, these are not, but some of them are.
Oh.
Everything used to go all the way to the roads and trees. We pushed all those up back there and changed it because of the trees were too old.
So where do you sell your apples, Jack?
This year, they all went to processors that we picked. These didn't because of the quality of them that we picked. My nephew, Jeffrey Crotts.
Yes.
We did talk to Jeffrey.
We did.
He sprays the orchard and everything for us now. We don't spray.
We sold a sprayer this past year.
And they prune it and spray it and everything.
Okay.
So, and he uses the apples. He sells the apples up there some too.
Oh, up there at Knob Creek,
Right, Knob Creek.
where we were with the peaches for
And
last
we went to
month.
the Apple
Oh,
Festival
that's
this
great.
year
Yeah.
over in Lincoln.
Now, if you have any left over, do you keep any through the winter, or is the object to sell them all in the season?
Yeah, we sell them all in the season or shortly thereafter. A short refrigeration period is all right, but they won't stay long unless you put them in real atmospheric storage that will keep them.
Okay.
So they'll stay a month or so, a couple months.
Okay.
In regular refrigeration.
So then people either need to freeze them if they buy them or can them.
You can put them in the refrigerator. You've got an extra refrigerator, and about once a week, sprinkle water on them, and
Oh,
they'll stay a long time. Some fella at Gastonia told me he kept them until March.
whoa. Well, that's great. So if you all are interested in preserving apples, getting fresh apples, and then store them so you can have an apple pie in March.
He said
You know how to do it.
A refrigerator out in an old building, and he put some kind of front on it, and he just poured them in there. Then he said he took the water hose,
My goodness.
sprinkled them, but I put them in the bottom of the refrigerator, and he sprinkled them with water and all stuff.
This thing just to eat because they're good. While they're good.
Absolutely.
Right.
And that's a great way to end this segment. Buy you a fresh apple and eat it. Well, stay tuned, Cleveland County. We're going to be talking with Nancy Abasiekong about all of the nutritional benefits of a sun-kissed apple.
Hi, I'm Linda Hopper, and I'm excited about Woman to Woman right here on C19 TV. Each month, my guest and I will chat about issues relating to women in general, but with a special focus on women right here in Cleveland County. Our topics will range from serious issues such as domestic violence and workplace challenges to fun topics such as fashion and healthy lifestyles and much, much more. So please join me as we discuss the issues, interests, and inspiration of women everywhere on Woman to Woman.
Welcome, Cleveland County, back from the apple orchard, and I have an apple right here. And I'm going to take a bite of it. I am here in the studio with Nancy Abassier-Kong, who is the Cleveland County Extension Agent for Family and Consumer Sciences. That, again, is a big mouthful.
Yes.
Mouthful with my apple. We're glad to have you here, Nancy.
Thank you.
And this is a wonderful season. This is a wonderful apple. And I would like you to tell me how an apple a day will keep the doctor away.
Okay. Well, we have heard, all of us have heard that all of our lives, that an apple a day will keep the doctor away. And really, an apple is part of a healthy diet. It has lots of things to offer, such as vitamin C, lots of antioxidants, potassium. Fiber is one of the great things that we get from apples. And whenever possible, eat them with the skin on, rather than peeling them, because that way you're getting more of the fiber and a lot more of the nutrients, which are in that skin area, in the peel, the peeling. So it's a good choice.
Well, and of course the season, it is just perfect. And
That's
with our
right.
beautiful fall weather now, it's just fun to go out to an apple orchard or buy some apples along the side of the road, or more especially our farmers market down here.
Right. We are fortunate that this year, if the weather is severe at earlier times of the year, we can have our apple crop frozen out, like last year. But this year we have apples, and we're all excited about that. Lots to choose from. And, of course, many different varieties of apples are available to us.
Well, and I believe the orchard where we were, they have 8 different varieties of apples.
Yes. And there are over 200, and lots of different varieties, and more on the way. So we're getting, more new varieties for different types of things. But there are lots of different varieties available. So if you like a sweet apple, or a crisp apple, or maybe a little more tart, then there are apple varieties for you. And we can also fit the apple variety to the use, to how you plan to use your apple. If you're going to eat it fresh as you are, then there are certain apples. Golden Delicious really falls in just about all of the categories.
Oh, that's
so a
good.
good Golden Delicious, Gala. Of course, the Red Delicious is a very familiar apple. And there are many other, Fuji, lots of other varieties. If you're going to be baking, you would have a different Rome, wine sap. Again, you can bake Golden Delicious. Or if you're doing pies, you would, again, look for certain varieties. A little more tart, or you might mix tart and sweet for your apple pies, but looking for some where the integrity of the flesh of the apple will be intact. It won't just go to mush.
Yes, and well, I was actually going to comment about that because I cooked some of these. These are more of an eating apple.
Yes.
But I did cook some, and they were just kind of like mush. I made apple crisp, which I love, but the apple part just kind of dissolved.
Was more soft. And yes. And that is, again, indicative of that particular apple variety. So when we're looking for an apple crisp, and we will have on our website, on the fact sheet page, a listing of different varieties that are suited for various things like the baking, eating fresh, pies, canning apples, applesauce, apple butter, lots of different ways. And of course, we can even just microwave an apple, baked apple. We could do it in the microwave for something quick, or in the oven. We'll have all of that information on the fact sheet.
And speaking of microwaving, I have a little cup with a little spine in the middle, and I just jammed the apple down on that, stuck it on vegetable cook, and it was wonderful. I mean, I didn't have to add anything, do anything. I did, though, think about pricking holes in it because I could just see it exploding in my microwave.
Well, did you peel any of it?
Nope. I did not.
Often when you're baking an apple, you will peel just a little bit at the top, again, to just allow the steam to escape.
Right.
Or you might also carve out the core. You can either
that's a
take the
good
entire
idea.
core out using a corer.
Right.
Or you could use a melon baller, or even a paring knife, or a grapefruit spoon, or something like that. Just something serrated that will help you carve out the core.
Right.
And then in that opening, you could put a few chopped nuts,
that's
a little
great
bit
idea.
of cinnamon and brown sugar, and maybe just a teaspoon or half a teaspoon of butter or margarine or soft
Or
spread.
more if you like.
Yes, you might save that more for after and just kind of, but it doesn't take much. Like you say, you can bake it just plain.
Right, right.
And if you're baking in a dish in the oven, add a little bit of water to the pan.
Okay.
So as you're baking.
Right. Well, Cleveland County, thank you for watching us. Please stay tuned because we will be in the kitchen cooking apples. And again, remember, an apple a day keeps the doctor away.
Hi, I'm Steve Putnam, and I'd like to invite you to join me for the next Talk of the Town. Each week I get to meet with some of the most interesting people in Cleveland County, and each show is packed with information you need to know to stay connected to our community. From promoting upcoming events to discussing local subjects that impact you, Talk of the Town has a little something for everyone. Plus, we're on every day, so it's easy to catch up with us. That's Talk of the Town. Every day, every week, right here on C19 TV, Cleveland County's channel. Only on Time Warner Cable.
Welcome back, Cleveland County. As you can tell, we are in the kitchen of the Cooperative Extension Department, and we're here this afternoon with Kathy Noel, who has quite an experience moving into the food field. I believe you started off as loving to write from your travel agency business.
Correct.
And then you have developed not only writing recipes, but into fusion, forming different foods, making a Mexican dish into a Thai dish, for example.
Correct.
But we're here today to cook our apples.
That's right.
So we're here
celebrating the apple.
Show us your expertise.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me here.
You're welcome.
We're going to start off making an apple galette. And an apple galette is actually the French term for tart or pastry tart. And actually what we're going to do today is we're going to freehand it and freeform the pastry and make without having to make our own pastry crust.
Oh,
and
that's
what
good.
we're using is just plain old puff pastry. And I buy this. This is the best stuff you can get your hands on. And it's you get 2 sheets in a box.
And a sheet is like one of
and
these.
one sheet looks just like this.
Okay.
Once it's thawed out, you let it thaw. You open it up, and the best thing to do is immediately get your flour on it so it won't stick. Mm-hmm. But it's a wonderful product, and it can be used for numerous different types of baking and cooking. But anyway, so a lovely product. But what we're going to do is once we do get our pastry thawed out and ready to go, and you got it really well floured, is you take your rolling pin, and what you're going to do is you're going to shape it to any form that you like. So that's why I love this stuff. It's so forgiving. And I tend to try to make it into a square, a round shape in the beginning, just because my galette that I did earlier is baked on a pizza pan, actually. Mm-hmm. This one's going to go in a rectangular pan. And so I'm going to 10 more to keep it that shape. But like I said, you can form this in just about any shape you like. But the key is to make sure that your rolling pan is well floured, your sheet is well floured, and you can make it just about any size that you want. You just don't want
probably as thin as you want, right?
Exactly.
It looks very pliable.
It is. It's like I said, it's so forgiving. Mm-hmm. And let's do this one since we're doing a rectangular one. I'll just kind of basically keep it like this. Like I said, our finished product is going to be in a circle. But you take your baking sheet And
I can hold that.
yeah, thank you, Deborah. And of course, the easiest way to do that is just to lift it up over
That's great.
your rolling pin.
Perfect.
And then just we'll set it down here. Let me get some of this flour out of the way. And then what we're going to do is make our filling.
Okay.
And basically our filling just consists of 4 apples, cored, peeled, and cut into slices. You don't want them too thick, but about this size. And over medium heat, and we need just a tablespoon of butter because apples have a lot of moisture in it, high water content. So you don't want too much water because it'll be too juicy for your pastry crust.
Right. Well, that makes sense.
So what we're going to do is, and the only thing I put in mine is I use about 3 tablespoons of apricot jelly or jam, or you can use like peach jam. I got this at the farmer's market. So anything that, has an affinity with apples would be really good. But that's basically your sweetener, and you can use sugar as well. I use about 3 tablespoons of sugar, but I got this up in Maine when we were traveling up there. And this is cinnamon maple sugar, which I thought would go really well with the apples.
Well, yes.
So,
of course, all of Kathy's recipes are going to be on the website. So,
and we'll just mix this up because it looks like I'm going to need about a tablespoon more, which is no problem. And I'll just put a little bit of this in there.
so these apples aren't cooked yet.
Not yet. You want to cook them for just till they're, I call it crisp tender. So it's not going to take that long. It may take about maybe 10 minutes to cook. But I have one already pre-made, so.
Right.
But anyway, you put in that, and then I'm going to put in my, let me get my sugar. So about 3 teaspoons of sugar or this maple sugar. And that'll give you all the sweetness you need. So, and you could even use honey, depending on, what type of, dietary problems you have or whatever. And that's basically it for your filling. So you just let this cook down, keep stirring till your jam or jelly, melts, and your apples are cooked through, or tender, crisp tender. Let me just put that on low. And then what we're going to do is this one right here I have prepared the filling.
Good.
And what we'll do is we'll take it, and all you do, and see once it's cooked, now you do need to let that cool. Let that cool down. Don't put it in warm or hot.
That's good.
Yeah, because it will tend to start puffing up your pastry immediately.
Any heat would cause that to
Right.
happen.
So just let it cool to at least room temperature. So you can do this earlier in the day before you have your guests, and then you just spoon it all in, and what I love about this tart, Deborah, is that it's not real sweet. It doesn't
So it has the goodness of the apples without
all
too
the
much
sugar. You're right.
other things.
Yes. And what you want to do is you want to spread it out till you're about 2 to 3 inches from the ends, because that's going to be your folding area for your pastry.
Okay.
And I just kind of use my spoon. And like I said, this is all free form. This is all, whatever feels good. And what I do is I just start with one end. You just take it and you start folding it over. Like that. And like I said, this one is probably going to be more of a rectangular shape just because of the pan I'm using.
So actually, you're showing us how to make almost a fruit pie or any kind of a pie.
Right. This is like the French term for a freehand pie.
So we could have meat in there.
You can do anything with this. That's what's so good about puff pastry. And but you can use any type of sweetened berries. You could do blackberries, strawberries, blueberries, a mix of berries. You can do anything. Any type of sweetened fruit would work beautifully in this. And anyway, there's your free-form
Oh
tart.
my, that is
And then
wonderful.
what I do is I like to brush a little bit of milk. You can brush with butter or egg or sometimes just regular milk. But this is half and half. And I'd like to brush just a little bit just to give it some color on top. And this will help it just brown up really pretty. Or you can do
Now,
an egg wash.
sometimes I was going to say, sometimes you use egg whites or
You can.
eggs
You can-
to do that.
Or an egg yolk. But milk I find is just fine because the pastry will puff up and you don't want anything too heavy on it or kind of to glue
certainly.
it down. So,
Certainly.
and then what I do is I take a little more, you can take finishing sugar or anything else like that. And this, since I'm using the maple, the cinnamon maple sugar, I'm just going to lightly sprinkle it over the top. And then that'll give it a little bit of color
On
too.
the pastry.
Right, I do tend to do a little bit in the middle just because I love this stuff. But that'll give you a beautiful sheen and color.
Okay.
And then you'll bake this in a 400-degree oven for about 20 to 25 minutes.
Okay.
And then once it's done, I have a finished one for you. And like I said, I did this one in a circle or like on a pizza pan.
Oh, certainly.
And this
certainly.
is what it comes out to look like.
Oh,
And
Kathy,
then-
that's beautiful.
And then all you have to do is just slice a slice. And what I like to do is serve a little dollop of vanilla ice cream right in the center of it.
Or you could do low-fat Cool Whip.
You can.
I can see that
you
happening.
can use that as well. Any whipped topping, and
Voila.
voila.
Ah,
There
it's
you
beautiful.
go.
Beautiful.
So anyway, the next thing we were going to do today is I thought maybe you would like a Waldorf salad.
Yes, yes.
And a Waldorf salad basically was, I think they said around 1893 when it was first created at the Waldorf Astoria in New York City, which is on Park Avenue. And through the years, it's been tweaked a little bit. People have added more things to it. And basically what it is just apples. You want a good firm apple for this salad. Celery. As a matter of fact, I've got some. We can just throw one together real quick. But all you need is a cup of celery. And you want everything like bite-sized pieces,
Right.
because it is a salad. And also a cup of grapes. And the one thing about grapes is, depending on what type of grapes you use, I like the red grapes. But when you cut a grape, I like to cut it horizontal in half
Okay.
instead of pole to pole. When you cut it
Ah.
pole to pole, it's a lot larger, and I think it's easier to
certainly.
eat. And I think it just makes a difference on how you cut things for a salad.
To make it more appetizing.
Exactly. So we have that, and also we need our apples, which I have 4 apples, which is actually 2 cups chopped. And as you can see, apples will turn on you if you don't soak them in acidulated water or
And we just got
Lemon
through
juice.
talking about that with Nancy Abasiakong, that just a little lemon juice.
it's all you need,
Would
and
make
that'll
that
help
happen.
it. But it has been sitting out. But usually, if you want them to keep for a short period, just put them in lemon water. And also, I love toasted walnuts. Now, I did toast these before, and it's about a half a cup toasted walnuts. Goes in here.
And toasted walnuts you just put in the oven at what temperature?
They go in the oven at 350 for 5 to 7 minutes.
Okay.
Is all you need. And
Okay.
watch them because they'll go quick. And there's nothing worse than a burnt nut
Right.
in the oven. And this also I like is I put a little bit of chopped basil in mine.
Oh, what fun.
I think that it just gives it a little oomph and a little more flavor. Now, you can use parsley, would be good in this as well.
But if you like basil, there's just something
There's just nothing
almost
like
not medicinal, but there's just, it's very aromatic.
it. Is. It's almost like it helps your mood.
Yeah.
It's like aromatherapy, I think. which all herbs I
Better
think
than
do
a
that.
pill, right?
Exactly. All you need is some good herbs.
Uh-huh.
But what I'm doing right here is julienning it, just in little strips. You just sprinkle that over it. And then I do like to add a little bit of salt. And this is kosher salt. I always cook with kosher salt. And my trusty electric pepper
Oh,
grinder,
my, look at that.
which is so easy because it's a one-hander.
Yes,
It's
you
a
can
one-hander for
stir.
freshly
And,
ground.
oh, that is amazing.
I
And
love
who would
that.
think pepper in Waldorf salad?
Yeah, perfect.
Oh,
And now this does call for a half a cup of mayonnaise, which you can get the low fat or you can get the sugar free. Also, you can use yogurt in this as well.
Oh,
Yogurt
okay.
would be very good in this. And I would definitely just use like the no flavored or Greek style.
Yes.
So just add, and you can add as much as you want. You can tell, whatever your taste may be. And give that a good mix. And what I like to do, and this is, you can make this as fancy as you wanted to by whatever vessel you use to present it in.
But and also different colored grapes you could put in
You can
there.
use green grapes. You definitely want to use seedless. But yeah, and you can also use raisins. Some people prefer raisins.
Yes.
Also, you can even use currants in there as well.
Okay.
And you can add them in as well as the grapes. So it's really, it's all about your taste and what you like.
And what you can find in the refrigerator.
Exactly. And
Very
what's in
good.
season.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then what I like to do is take it, and now this is a martini glass, as you can tell, but I just put a little bit of lettuce in it, and then you just basically pile it up in here, and it makes a beautiful presentation.
It is. That is
And
lovely.
you can wow your guests for a first course or a second course or just for a luncheon. This would be great for a ladies' luncheon. And you can switch your nuts up as well. But what I like to do is pile it pretty high. And then, of course, you always use the herb that you put in it.
All
You
right. Well, that's
always put your herb.
that's a good
that way
cooking
it lets you
hint.
know. It lets you know that there will be basil in it. And
Oh, Kathy.
voila.
Oh, that is so pretty.
And there you have that.
Well, listen, thank you so much for
You're
this.
welcome.
You have made an apple a day keeps the doctor away in a whole nother meaning with
you.
all of our baked
Thank you.
dish and this fresh dish. Thank you for watching Cleveland County, and we'll see you next month.